Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC and I have my zombie shirt on, so you know what that means. We're going to go back into the next set of rules for Zombieland. If you missed the first one, I would encourage you to go back and watch that one, and then that'll catch you up, and that way you can really get a good understanding as we go through this list. Make sure that you are subscribed so that way if you enjoy this, you don't miss the rest because there's about 35 rules that we're going to go over in this little mini series. And so, again, we'll try and keep it short. We'll shoot for that 10-minute mark or whatever, but we're going to go over five again today, just like last time. And so that way we can go over them and see how it pertains to us here in the prepping community. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So, number six is cast iron skillet. Now, if you're any sort of anybody in the prepping community, you know that every prepper's must is to have a cast iron skillet. I can sit here and talk for the next 20 minutes on why you should have a cast iron skillet, all the different benefits, the uses. You should have a cast iron skillet. And this is one that I probably won't spend that much time on it just because it kind of speaks for itself. Not only can you utilize it as a defensive weapon, carrying tool, something to weigh something down, be able to cook with minimal cleaning. It gives you, iron when you eat. I mean, there's a ton of reasons to have it, and I'm glad that, being that survivalist movie, they included a cast iron skillet into a rule. It's a rule. Get one. Number seven, travel light. Okay. So this being a channel for new preppers and new to the community, which if that is you, welcome. Uh, Keep that in mind right there. Number seven, travel light. When you build your first bug out bag, every single one of us, for the most part, makes the same exact mistake where you put about 855,000 pounds into a child-sized book bag, and you know that's that's just a big mistake. We all do it. We're all guilty of it, and it is what it is. But you need to travel light, and when it comes to it, skill replaces gear. Okay. If I have 20 different things to light a fire, but I have the skill and the knowledge to know what to go get out in nature to start a fire, or I know how to take a car battery and some wire, I know how to do this or do that. If I know 50 different methods on how to start a fire, then I don't really need to carry a whole bunch of fire starting things. And so it helps me to travel lighter. Same thing with a whole bunch of other things. Once you get the skill down and the things that's necessary for it, you don't need a whole lot. Okay. Um, and we'll just leave it at that on there. Make sure that when you go through and you pack your bag, challenge yourself to make it as light as possible. And make sure that you go on to a percentage. Weigh yourself. That bag shouldn't be more than, X amount of percentage of your body weight, because you need to not only be able to travel with it for a long distance of times, but you need to be mobile. Just because you can put a 50-pound rucksack on and walk, 25 miles, can you run with it? Can you bob and weave? Can you dive and roll? Are you mobile? Can you move around with that much weight? Because if you can't, poses a problem. All right, let's move on. So number eight is get a really good partner. Not gonna not gonna say what the actual rule is, but you read it. So it goes into there. Yes, they dramatized it so that way, it grabs attention and makes a valid point. We're going to back it up to not only get a partner, but get a team, a group, a mag. You need to have a really good, tactically done. Um, you need to have specific people in your group. Let's put it that way. And so you have the choice. You can do it now, or you can be forced into one later. And if I had a say, I would rather have the option of putting together my own team than to just be forced. It's kind of like that being, picked at dodgeball last. It's that ragtag bunch that nobody wants. And so it kind of goes into it. You need to make sure to give yourself the best possible chance. And so, if you're going to do something like playing sports, let's just go back into it and say that it's we're going to play five different sports and you got to pick your best players. Well, you're going to look around and you're going to try and find the people that are most athletic, the people that have the most, skill, knowledge, and everything of the games and things like that. Because in order to win, you're setting yourself up for the best possible, you know, scenario. And so I'm glad that they took and they added that to this list. So let's move on to number 9, with your bare hands. Now, in the movie, they put this in for their reasoning. We're going to back it up and broad stroke this one. And when it comes to with your bare hands, I'm going to turn it into you need to actually get your hands dirty. Uh, if you have that ability, then you need to use that ability. The world as it is right now really kind of holds true to uh, there's a lot of chiefs and not a whole lot of Indians. Yes, you're going to need a leader. Yes, you're going to need that person that kind of steps back for a second and just kind of keeps everybody in line. But manual labor is going to be so crucially important once SHTF goes on. And so if you are able-bodied, then you need to figure out how to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. Yes, you may have to kind of wear two hats, and yes, you may have to back up and take a glance around to make sure everybody's in line, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. You're keeping the group going. But then you're going to have to get back in there. You're going to have to get your hands dirty. You're going to have to use your bare hands at certain times to get things done. And then the last one for today is going to be don't swing low. Now in the movie they have it because they're going after zombies and things like that. So if we back it up a little bit, when it comes to don't swing low, is don't sit here and always go after the lowest hanging fruit. You're going to need to be able to set that bar at a certain meetable and achievable expectation. And that goes with, you know, bringing people into the group. SHTF happens. Don't set the bar so low that you're just like, look, if they can, get in here, kind of like the old car commercial, drag, pull, drop, whatever. As long as you get the car here, we'll take it. You can't be like that when it comes to SHTF. You can't just be like, all right, if as long as they can breathe on their own, we'll take them. Okay. Same thing with a bunch of other things. If you're going after food, if you're going after water and things like that, you need to have an expectation of the amount of food, the type of food, how clean that water is. You can't just be like, it's clean-ish, we're just going to have to suffer through it. No, set that bar up. Don't swing low. Make sure that you get clean water, an abundance of water. Set that bar to an achievable expectation. So, again, just like last time, let's run down through the list again and kind of go over them as a quick overview. So, number 6, cast iron skillet. Again, extremely important. I'm glad they put it in there. If you don't have one, I rarely do this. You need one. You need a cast iron skillet. There's no reason not to get one. You can even go get them. I've seen them at yard sales, flea markets, all sorts of different places for really, really cheap. Even if they're rusty. There's so many videos out there right now where you can go out and watch some videos and clean them up and get them right back into really good condition. So don't stray away. If money's an object, you're just going to put probably a little bit more time and effort into it. Now, next one is going to be travel light. Really good rule. You're going to make sure that you have the things that you need in order to travel light. Make sure that you have the skill, make sure you have the knowledge, make sure you have the know-how that give you that ability to travel light. You're going to be able to go further, you're going to last longer, you're going to be more mobile if the lighter you can travel. So make sure you take advantage of that. Put yourself in the best situation to travel light. Next one is get a good partner slash get a good team. The more you surround yourself, the better. And the best way to do this, and I'm gonna quickly try and share this because I know we're at the end and we're running close on time, is take a look at yourself now. Write down the different aspects of survival, where it is, food, water, medical, shelter, security, things like that. And then do a self, check on you. Discover what is your weakness. Be honest, okay? If you're like, listen, I do not like firearms at all. I don't want to hurt nobody or anything like that. If you have that, then there's where you need to be strategic and go, I need to find somebody that has that security option covered. Surround yourself with people that covers your weakness. You can provide for them. Maybe they have no idea how to grow crops or do anything like that. You can trade that for their security. They give you security in trade of food and things like that. Work together and make sure that it's mutually beneficial. Why they call it a mag. Okay. Now, next one is going to be with your bare hands. Make sure that if you are able bodied, you understand that manual labor is going to be a huge part of SHTF, that you're going to have to roll your sleeves up, you're going to have to get your hands dirty, you'll have to get in there and get things done in order to execute and get things accomplished. It's going to be very, very important that you fully understand. There's a lot of people that have an executive level job that, yes, you're going to have people that manage, but if you're able bodied, you're going to have to get in there with everybody else. And then last is number 10, don't swing low. Make sure that you have a high enough expectation. Do not take the very bare minimum on all this stuff, because if you shoot for bare minimum, that's all you're going to get is bare minimum. You want to aim higher. Make sure that you aim to where it is achievable. Don't aim up here. Okay, if you have the expectation that you're going to get barbecue baby back ribs and steak and all that every single day, for the next 10 years of SHTF, you're swinging a little high there. As much as we would all love to do that, I don't see that that's a realistic expectation. And so if you can get it to where you're like, all right, we're going to have to be able to hunt and do things. So I want the expectation that we have, at least a bite or two of meat every single day. Okay, that's a realistic expectation. If you can do more, great. But at the minimum, I want at least a bite or two every day. We want that protein every day. So that's what I've got for you guys today. We already went through the last 5 in the very beginning. We went through the second 5 today. So we are 10 rules in out of 30 or 35. So this is going to be a little bit of a mini series. So if you enjoy it, do the fun things. Let me know down in the comment sections, even if it's just to say hi. Uh, Usually I'll say hi, or some of the other people will respond back and say hi. We're all good community in here. But that's what I've got for you today. So thank you again for joining me and spending a little bit of your time. I hope you have a very blessed rest of your day. Stay tuned. There's more information to come, as well as the rest of the list. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you're notified for all the future ones that's going to come out. And say it with me now. Remember to remain united, because we're all prepping this together.